In other words, are you trying to say that Ribadu could have allowed the absence of these two members from the committee meetings to pass?
Yes, because they still form a quorum and they were working. And
but wouldn't that be tainting his own reputation?
No, not at all. Not at all. Because you don't expect all the committee members to agree 100%. Definitely there would be some, you give room you give allowances for eventualities. And so those were the allowances. But unfortunately, Mr. Oronsaye, Steve Osagede Oronsaye, chose the submission of the report to discredit the report. Because also, immediately he raised those issues, a lot of people said, yes, we saw this coming because we know that government will look for a way to throw spanner in the wheel of this report. But that's why...
Is it not possible that Mr. Oronsaye was saying the truth?
If Mr. Oronsaye, yeah, it could be possible. And also from Mr. Ribadu's other letter, it was possible that there were some figures, because they admitted that there were some figures that were not verified. One would have expected that as a member of the committee, as an alternate chairman of that committee, that you sit down with the chairman of the committee and reconcile some of these issues and not bring them, in public before the entire world. The look to show fully well that, because let me tell you the impression Nigerians have about this government and some of these reports and the committees, that nothing will come out of it. And so a member of the committee now telling us that, look, this report cannot be acted upon in spite of some of the areas the committee had achieved success, let's say 80% success. A member saying because there are 20% inadequacies and that so the entire report should be condemned, Nigerians will say, we saw it coming. And so that was why I think Mr. Ribadu said, Ribadu said, Mr. President, it's about your government. It's not about me. It's not about Oronsaye. It's not me that people will remember tomorrow. It's the government of Goodluck Jonathan that people will remember. It's the corruption in the system during the tenure of Goodluck Jonathan that people will remember, and not Ribadu.
When you say that they shouldn't have spoke up in public, I just remember the joke. Someone said, how can I be in water and soap? I have to speak up where I have to. But speaking up about this matter, you even alluded to the fact that the ones that were listed were not verified. Shouldn't it have been important as they raised it there? What if there was no other avenue, no fora? Who would have even believed it if they raised it afterwards?
No. Even at the report itself, I did mention, I said page 30 specifically of the report, they listed the problems they encountered, the inadequacies, that some of these institutions could not be reached. Even some who they extended letters to did not honor their invitation, which shows that some of these figures could not be verified. But 80% of the report, you cannot condemn that entire report because 20% of it could not be verified. That's my position. And that's the position of majority of Nigerians I will sit here to maintain. Because and mind you, if you look at the genesis of all of this, this is coming up as a result of the dress rehearsal, let me use that word, that happened in the Federation in January by virtue of the increase in the pump price, the petroleum pump price. And the Nigerians were shouting that, look, you need to remove the log in your eyes first. There's so much corruption going on in the system, and you're asking us to pay more. And Mr. President, wanting to show Nigerians that he was working, that it truly meant well, and he wanted to fight corruption, set up this committee. And some of us did raise our doubt then that, look, the government already knew what to do. They know the inadequacies in the system. They know where the loopholes were. Setting up a report and appointing Malam Nuhu Ribadu was to give Nigerians the impression that they were working. And so, why, if government also was truly sincere in implementing that report, I did not see any reason why you should have waited for the committee to submit its report before appointing some members of the committee to the board and the managerial position of an NNPC. If government, you've given somebody an assignment, go and look into the activities of this sector. And you know fully well that NNPC is at NNPC is, let me say, at the hem of affairs of that sector. And then you now say, members of the committee, I know you're looking at these activities, but you could not wait to compensate them.
The word Ribadu used was, they got themselves appointed.
It's whether they got themselves.
So doesn't that
they were appointed?
Excuse the government?
No. They were appointed, and the government appointed them, and they accepted. So you can't say they got themselves appointed.
Do you think that
because if they had refused?
Sorry, Mr. Oshoma. Do you think that there's been some kind of friction between both of them before now?
I think so. I think so, because from what we read and from what transpired that day, that these people had never attended meetings, and then also that when they eventually attended, and that they tried to bully members to do the job their own way, that the members were being too harsh on some of these companies and the rest. It shows that there being some kind of frictions, amongst.
Well, anyway, what do you
people.
make of this? Because we just got this here now. Someone sent in this saying Oronsai's problem with Nuhu started in 2003 when, as ACP, Nuhu Ribadu was appointed as first EFCC chairman. Oronsai told President Obasanjo that the law establishing EFCC requires nothing below the rank of AIG. So he reasoned the DGs of SSS, NIA, NDLEA, who should be on the EFCC board, are all seniors to Nuhu. So the conflict between them has been on for a long time.
There is, if you read Segun Adeniyi's book, a lot of people had scores to settle with Ribadu. So many people. So I would not be surprised if there had been issues between the two of them on the appointment and
yes, so are you not surprised that he didn't raise, knowing that, listen, some people
No, but
have issues with me, including some members of this committee who are not attending this meeting?
But my problem is not Nuhu Ribadu not raising, because he was for the
that's
interest of
a big,
Nigeria.
that's a big
validate
problem.
the
He
report.
must.
No,
he should
not
have.
at all. Because even what I would, let me say, from this point, I saw it as, permit me to use the word, Steve Morosai shouldn't have, raised those objections. At best, what he should have done was to write a minority report.
When Ribadu says he didn't even attend for one day.
Exactly. It's
So
what
how
I
do you
was
write a minority
saying.
report?
I wanted that to come from you. When he did not attend committee meetings for one day, and so there was no way he could have written minority report. And what he came to do was, look, these figures, we need to reconcile some of these figures.
So what should Ribadu have done?
What I'm telling you, to show maturity, Ribadu displayed maturity by not raising objection to the fact that I have issues with Oronsai.
But look at where not speaking up has gotten Nigerians.
That's what I'm saying. If he had, let me tell you, a lot of people in government circles would have said, Ribadu, he's a stubborn man. He would not want to work with people who would not agree with him. He's a dictator. He would want to dictate to everybody. He allowed it. Work with everybody, in spite of the fact that these people might have contrary views and opinion to yours. He decided to allow, because for the interest and benefit of Nigeria. I'm not here to hold brief for Ribadu, because I was among those that said, look, don't accept this appointment because they want to rubbish you.
So was it a mistake for him to have accepted it?
I will not speak for him. I won't say it was a
No,
mistake.
not speaking for him. What do you think?
In my opinion, if I were Ribadu, I wouldn't have accepted. I wouldn't have.
So was it a mistake for him to have accepted,
That's
seen the
allow
results?
Ribadu to answer that, because till date, no matter, I believe he'd been able to move a step ahead of his critics. Like I said, I cannot say it was a mistake for him to have accepted, because from what we had seen, even those that were not aware of some of these things, those people that were saying, no, look, it cannot be as bad as we think it is, are seeing it now that it's even worse than we imagine it. That even the current minister who set up the committee was indicted in the report, goes to show that they truly wanted to do a good job. And my problem is, a former head of service, a former special advisor to Obasanjo, and we know the relationship between Goodluck and Obasanjo and how Goodluck became president of Nigeria by virtue of the Obasanjo's imposition, Yaradua, Goodluck ticket, and all of that. And then Oronsai coming up to say that, look, this report cannot be relied on. from government angle, people will naturally link it to government.
But
That look,
couldn't
these are government
just
men
so
at
that
work.
this